Hi friends, it's Veronica Vax, naturopathic physician, happily retired. Today we are going to talk about how to diagnose esophageal cancer. The question from the subscriber came is, what's the standards of diagnosing and is there a blood test to diagnose? The standard diagnostic procedure for esophageal cancer is gastroscopy, and as a doctor goes through esophagus, he sees abnormal tissue, he takes biopsy, and then biopsy goes into pathology, and pathology report tells you if there is or there is none. I answered no to the question for the blood test, and it's not exactly correct answer. So I want to elaborate a little bit on this topic. There is a test, or there was a test 12 years ago. The test was developed. So you take a sample of the blood, put it on the chip, put it in the computer, and the computer will look for the cancer cells in the blood sample. So they took 100 volunteers in New York, and different age, different race, and different ages. So they grabbed them, took the blood sample, put it in the computer, and the answer came back. Every single person had a cancer cells in their bloodstream. Oh boy, we have a problem. At that time, medical community asked many interesting questions and right questions. For example, shall we tell those people that they have cancer cells in their bloodstream? Shall we start to look aggressively for the cancer in their body, doing X-rays, colonoscopy, mammograms, MRIs? Some doctors ask even further, in my opinion, very important question. Before we do anything with these people, we need to identify which cells will become bad actors. In other words, in which people those cells actually settle down and get converted into the real cancer. In my mind, it was a good question, but it was not essential. It was not the most important question. What I wanted to be asked question is, or rather than asking a question, to bring attention from the cancer, right? We know these people have cancer cells. The question should be, who are those people? What they do or what they don't do that the cancer cells converted in those people into real cancer? That's the important question. In other words, switch it from cancer to people and to preventive medicine. What they don't do, maybe we should start supplements, vitamins, minerals, take antioxidants, look what they eat, what medications they are taking, what water they drink, what polluted air they breathe. Anyway, so, but most important, that test is scramble our understanding of cancer development. Let's go and I will explain that to you. Let's go again to PowerPoints. So what I learned in medical school, and medical doctors still do learn this concept of cancer development. So here is example. This is the example of normal cells, squamous epithelial cells of esophagus. So this is the base membrane where the cells are alive, cells reproduce, they grow, they get old, they die. And as they die, they get washed down or eaten epithelial cells down with the food and water. Then insult happened to esophagus. Hydrochloric acid comes up and the cells become hyperplastic, means that they become bigger. Then as insult continues by hydrochloric acid, dysplasia happened. Dysplasia, where you can see the ratio of nucleus to cytoplasm is violated. Nucleus become big and cytoplasm becomes small, and this is already pre-cancer. The next stage is cancer, when the cancer cells break through the membrane and they go with the flow, lymph or blood flow into different organs, and they settle down. The same could be said about, this is like epithelial, bronchial epithelial. There are cells and the have the kind of sweep out of the dust. And also there are goblet cells that produce mucus. And when insult happened, so squamous cells become different type and proteins change in them, and goblet cells become large, and it's called metaplasia. So both metaplasia and dysplasia are precancerous condition. So in other words, our understanding of the cancer, so cancer starts as small mutated cell in one place, and it grows, reproducing, and then as it becomes big, cancer breaks out of this particular tissues and goes with the blood or lymph into different organs, disseminate, and that's metastasis. If we accept the results of those blood tests, so this concept does not fit to that description, right? So when the cancer is really small, it turns out the metastasis or the cells already floating in the bloodstream. There is a major problem with that because tons of money are tied in oncology to exactly what we are doing. And what we are doing surgery, chemo, and radiation, right? We are saying, okay, say the cancer is small, so let's excise this. Cancer is still small, so we will radiate that precisely and treat it there. But why to do surgery and radiation onto smallest cancer if it's already everywhere in the bloodstream, in the bone marrow? So maybe we should just blast the person with high dose of chemo and kill the cancer cells everywhere. So we cannot do that. So, and by the way, I want to tell you that the data at that time already started to accumulate that this concept is not quite right. That Dr. Susan Loves talk about that test in her book. And this article, I will post the link below, talks about DCIS, ductal cell carcinoma in situ, means that the cancer is in situ, means it's just right there, it's nowhere in your body. But when they looked at those patients and they looked into their bone marrow, turns out they already have metastasis in the bone marrow. So the concept, our concept of understanding of cancer is not quite correct. So what did we do with this test? Just throw that out. So forget about the test. But here is the news. The new test is coming, and it's already been announced that blood test is coming in 2020. And what the test does, it's looking for the debris of cancer DNA in the bloodstream, meaning that cancer cells get broken, DNA get released into the bloodstream, and that's what the test is looking for. Okay, guys, that is it for today. If you have any questions, like, subscribe, ask questions there. It's Veronica Wax. Bye-bye for now.